What's up, guys? It's Celtic again. Here I'm going to show you a video of play arts and NECA figures. Reason why I'm doing this video is that way if you guys are not into toy collecting or would like to get figures of your favorite franchises, here's a video like showing what figures are available or going to be available later on, so that way you pick yourself one. To start off, I'm going to show you the NECA figures, and these figures are like really nicely well detailed, and probably stand for maybe like 7 inches tall, I believe. They make some great figures, video game characters as well as movie characters as well. Last scene I saw figures of Prometheus as well as Gremlins, which I'm really surprised. But yeah, like I said, these figures are like really nicely well and detailed, and I pretty much picked this up while I was working at this company called Toy Inc. And yes, I wasn't really much of a toy collector back then, and once I come across these figures, I instantly fell in love with them, and I pretty much started toy collecting from there, as well as these Play Arts Kai figures and the Transformers Masterpiece, which I'll mention that in the next video. But these figures, like I said, very nicely detailed. For Laura specifically, she's really not that articulated as well, but she does put some poses on. She does come with a display stand. Also these 2 gun accessories, which one of them seems to be out of place. But yeah, I really like this figure a lot, and I've seen previous NECA figures about Lara Croft, and they don't seem really that well as this Tomb Raider Underworld. Her faces from the Tomb Raider Legend or Tomb Raider Anniversary, those figures don't really appeal to me as much. For this Laura, her face seems really well and seems almost as accurate in her in-game character, and this is one of the nice figures I ever come across of Laura for now. So I'll put her to the side. I also have the Gears of War figures, and they also have Gears of War 3 figures as well of Marcus Phoenix, as well as other characters like Dom, Baird, and a Lotus or Locust. I forgot. It's been a while since I played this game, so my apologies there. And but with this Marcus Phoenix, he has more articulation, as it says right there, and it also comes with accessories, the gun, chainsaw gun, or the pistol. No, sorry. And he seems really nice and very well detailed, except for the skull symbol there. I thought it was a cog, but oh well. But yeah, very nicely detailed, and I would pretty much take out his packaging and give you guys more in detail, but I really lack of a shelf of any kind, so I live in an apartment. So eventually, when I move on to the house with my fiance later this year, I'll gladly take them out of this packaging and display them. Again, these are really nice figures. I absolutely love them. I was hoping to pick up a Gordon Freeman figure later this next week, hopefully. And they also come with a shell from Portal. She's going to release later this year, and I'm looking forward to get her as well. So it's definitely one of the action figures from NECA to pretty much look into, because again, very nice figures and very nicely detailed, so very worth the money. Here are the Play Arts Kai figures, and with these figures, they're pretty much well known for being articulated as well as very nicely detailed in every inch of the figures as well. They were made by Square Enix, and they made such very amount of good characters from video game franchises, like from Final Fantasy mostly, Metal Gear, and Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Later on this year, they're going to release the figures from The Dark Knight Rises, which includes Bane, Catwoman, and the Dark Knight himself. I'm really looking forward to getting those figures as well. And also they're going to release figures of The Dark Knight, which is going to be based on Joker, and from all the pictures I've seen on the internet, it looks really nice, and I believe those figures from The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises are really going to sell out really quick, because, well, who isn't a fan of The Dark Knight? And with Play Arts Kai, these figures tend to sell out really quick, and the figures for The Dark Knight Rises and The Dark Knight are now for pre-order, depending when you're watching this video. Also later this year, they're going to release a Play Arts Kai figure of Lara Croft in a new game, which I'm really excited to get both the figure and the game, and hopefully get my hands on those as well. Also, they're going to have, right now, currently, they have Agent 47 and Mass Effect 3 figures from Play Arts Kai, as well as Batman Arkham City, which I'm gonna go look into those as well, so I can get myself one. These figures are very nicely detailed. Look, I have my Solid Snake here. He's still available online. It all depends. From Big Bag Toy Store, there's a good amount of him left still, I believe. But thanks to scalpers, he's going to be costly on eBay, which he's probably like around maybe $100 to $200 at most, if not $300, from what I saw the listings, which is kind of ridiculous for a $70 figure. But gotta love those scalpers, huh? But with the Solid Snake figure, you know, he's really nicely detailed and very, very nicely painted on. I mean, I love the paint applications on him, and you know, as I said, very nicely detailed. You know, I like to pull some good poses, so I'm trying to do this one as well. Here's got his pistols, one of the accessories that pretty much go into this holster there, which is really nice. He comes with a silencer, but I prefer to have this gun without the silencer, as well as in the game, of course. And his bandana is articulated as well. I can just pretty much go either left or go right. Let's see here. I'm trying to do this one hand here. Yes, it should get a tripod, but bear with it. Make sure it doesn't fall. So yeah, had that nice wind effect going on. However, he is a good figure, but there's a downfall to him. One of the most common things with these Play Arts Kai figures, they're really, really fragile. And if you guys get a Play Arts Kai figure of any sorts, whether it's Solid Snake or Harley Quinn, you should really watch out for their joints, because they can be actually move really well with no problem. But certain joints right here, ratchet joints, they're probably too soft or too rough, like in his knees. They're in ratchet joint, and they're really hard to, you know, move about. And particularly their hands of all Play Arts Kai figures, I really have a big issue with them, because apparently, you know, they can break off easily, and I'm really worried to switching hands from time to time, because that small very end of the figures, when you snap it out, is very thin and very fragile. And again, you gotta really be careful with these figures, because otherwise you end up having a very expensive broken figure. Well, you could fix them, but again, you really don't want to avoid doing that. So really, really careful when moving their joints from anywhere from their knees to their thighs to ankles, hands, elbows, anywhere really, because, you know, they should really be taken care of, and don't pretty much too force on any of these joints there. And that's one of the issues. Another issue is like having these figures not having a ratchet joint on the upper thigh here, because, you know, they move very well on their own. You know, there's some are stiff. People reporting online saying the thigh joints are probably loose, and they can't really execute a good amount of poses of these figures because of that issue. And so Square Enix really acknowledges that. But other stories I read on the internet, most people had their figures having fallen off their shelves and end up breaking. That's one of the issues Square Enix Play Arts Kai figures known for, is like having bad quality issues. Other people saying the paint job of these figures are pretty much poorly done, having paint globs on anywhere the figures. And thankfully for my Solid Snake and these other figures behind him, there is no paint job issues at all. They're all very nicely done, thankfully, and till now. So hopefully future Play Arts Kai figures will be the same way. Also, I also heard that like the joints, whether it's the elbows or the legs, are pretty much come off easily, or if not broken, once out of the packaging, because people were just like really upset about it, because again, these are really expensive figures, and when it comes to these, they're kind of a risk of buying them, because, you know, again, with those quality issues I mentioned earlier, that's definitely one to check out. If possible, you could just probably inspect these figures, whether they sell in stores and around the area, so that way you don't end up having a broken figure from the get-go and not able to get a replacement there, because like I said, Solid Snake is pretty much hard to get, and it's not available now depending where you find them. And again, Big Bag Toy Store may have them. Oh, and they also have a Gray Fox figure, which I don't have, and again, he's sold out completely, because, well, who doesn't love the Ninja and Gray Fox? I mean, he's a very awesome figure from what I've seen. So yeah, he's really definitely hard to get. They do have two different types of packaging. It was a window packaging. Currently, they have other packaging. Also, forgot to mention they have a Master Chief figure, which I'm hoping to get as well. Has like this sort of kind of like paper door in front of them of some sort, which has a little character bio inside. But yeah, I mean, these figures are like really nice and well done. You know, I absolutely love them, and I'm looking forward to get the future releases of those figures as well. These, without a doubt, you should probably get them or probably look into, because whether you're a toy collector or not, you know, get these figures if they have like them available in your favorite franchises. I mean, I personally like will start collecting more of them down the road, and hopefully I'll probably get some of the previous figures in the past toy line of their Player Sky, because, you know, again, they're very articulated and they're very worth the money. It all depends like how they came in the packaging, so that way, you know, they won't end up broken or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, this is the figures that I have, and hopefully this will give you guys an idea what figures are currently out or we're going to be out later on with both Player Sky and NECA, so that, you know, that way you guys won't miss out these awesome figures for yourselves. And stay tuned for my next video, which I'll show off the Transformers Masterpiece, which pretty much the figures you definitely want to check out. But until then, just like, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.